Whatever does become of Charlton this year, and this afternoon could go a long way to deciding that, young Danny Mills' contribution will be remembered as one of the bright spots in an otherwise disappointing campaign. An international in the making, he has power and pace, which have interested many an opposing manager.
I'm a natural defender. That's what I do best, I think. That's what I enjoy. Obviously, my pace, I can get out of trouble sometimes. Sometimes get me into trouble a little bit. You take the odd risk that maybe you shouldn't because you think you can get out of it with your pace. And apart from that, going forward, can use that pace to get forward. Hopefully, create a few opportunities for the team.
Nick the odd goal as well.
Just the one or two. One or two.
One of those rare gems popped up in the recent under-21 international against Hungary. Nice to notch up for Mills, but his sights are set higher. Apart from one or two famous names, there's not a huge amount of competition for him at right back.
Gary Neville's almost firmly got the spot. He's probably the best right back at the moment. He's got his brother Phil, who obviously doesn't get a chance to play there too much. But another great player. Apart from that, there's, like you've seen in the last couple of England squads ago, Lee Dixon got pulled back in at grand old age of 35. So there's not too many right backs about at the moment. So maybe if I can keep progressing, maybe the next couple of years, a senior call up, could be on the cards.
It's quite a rise for the lad who made his senior debut for Norwich barely 4 years ago.
Yep, Luton Town. Not one of the most glamorous grounds in the world to make a debut. We went 1-0 up, and then unfortunately I gave away a penalty, which I still claim to this day was never a penalty. I'm sure everyone disagrees with me.
But eventually, after 3 years at Carrow Road, Mills fell out of favour and out of the first team.
It was, extraordinary circumstances really. I've been at Norwich, been on the transfer list for, seemed like forever, only 6 months. And then there's the nationwide league select side, played down at the Valley. Curbs was the manager for that. And I knew full well it was my big break. I've been saying to myself, my agent and all bits and pieces, that I just needed one chance.
And one chance was all he needed, scoring on his debut after only 3 minutes.
It spun up in the air and fell under the crossbar. I just headed it in after 3 minutes, and the fans took to me straight away, which was great.
The hero of the hour very nearly became the villain of the piece in the playoff semi-final against his old enemies of Ipswich.
What's he doing to you there, Fencer?
Probably trying to strangle me. Don't think he succeeded. But unfortunately later, I caught somebody with a late tackle and was sent off. Thankfully, I only missed the second leg of the semi-final for the playoffs, so I was able to play at Wembley.
Charlton won through, and the rest is history.
You still got your suit? You had grey suits, didn't you? With
yeah, I have still got that. Haven't worn it since. Unlike one or two of the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Haven't purchased a new suit and still wear the freebie Wembley suits.
To play in such glorious conditions in such an extraordinary game, does that almost double the anguish now of staring relegation in the face?
It does make it difficult, but it's one of those things we've got to cope with. Last year was last year. It was a fantastic day, fantastic end to a great season for Charlton. Unfortunately now, we haven't performed as well this season as maybe we should have done. It's been a steady season for me, and obviously, the players at Charlton, like Kinsella as well, have been linked with other clubs. Personally, I've heard nothing concrete. I just leave that up to the manager to sort out. I'm obviously happy at Charlton. I've just got to concentrate at the moment of keeping it up.
But without the bounds of possibility that a club that goes down has to sell their prize assets, and you might be part of that.
I think in most cases that's true, but I think Charlton has worked it. The board have been so good. Obviously there will be probably one or two players that leave in the summer, but I think that'll be through Curbs' choice rather than him having to sell players.
This afternoon's game really is last chance saloon for Charlton. If Southampton win, Charlton must win too, or they're down. But should results go the other way, Danny Mills has a double reason to hold his breath on the last Sunday of the season.
Just finally, Danny, I believe that the last day of the season could also be the birth of your first child.
Yeah, I think
on the same day.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. Hopefully, it'll hold out just until the celebrations afterwards. But hopefully, it could be a magnificent double celebration. Charlton stay up and have a healthy little baby.